Последние месяцы наполнены различного рода киберинцидентами.
These months have been filled with different cyber incidents, and the brightest of them were the events which happened with Rutube. Couple words about what happened and what is right now. We'll speak with Alexander Moiseev, Deputy CEO in Gazprom Media Holding. Hello, Sasha. And Alexei Novikov, Director of Expert Security Center in Positive Technologies. Okay, let's begin with a simple question. What did happen 8th of May? 8th of May, nothing happened, but May 9th in the morning, Rutube stopped working, as we all know. This service was inaccessible, but in real life, what happened? Very serious attack happened. Then we will discuss a little bit later about how this attack was conducted, technical details.
Недели, какие-то месяцы даже. Вот, то есть такое серьезное проникновение.
So there was a serious penetration, but in practice it was a big infrastructural attack. They've tried to do a lot of negative things. And what has suffered? First of all, infrastructure have suffered, service components have suffered, and we were able to save the video archive, which is the most important thing. Base of connectedness have suffered. It's the base which provides connectedness between video archives and user data. User data was not tackled, fortunately, and whole infrastructure as well. So this is cluster of virtualization, etc. Which were the goals of the criminals, attackers? Why they did make this attack? Do you have any understanding? I don't know. They are not telling us. So you didn't get any anonymous statements like letters cut from the newspapers. Well, they don't write to our Telegram, but maybe you've been lied. They've been writing to Telegram, and there were even some stories in some channels that something like that is about to happen. Which goals? I don't know. Nothing good. They didn't have any good goals. But obviously, technically, what we've seen, the goal was full destruction of the service. Full destruction of the service. Another thing should be understood. We are not speaking about gigantic flash, which can play video. But this is a very complicated infrastructure with very complicated distributed network, orchestration, virtualization, and all other favorite words that we hear every day. And the objective was to completely destroy it, completely annihilate it. And we were able to A, stop it, and B, I think that generally speaking, very short periods of time, it was very painful. Yes, we haven't been sleeping for 50 hours, but we were able to revitalize it. Positive Technologies helps in investigation of this incident. Tell me please, Alexei, do we have any understanding who attacked, how this attack was conducted, and how was it developed? Yes, we are helping, and we work together with our colleagues in investigating this incident, investigating this case. The question how, it's not my favorite question, not how but who, because to the question who, it should be answered only by law enforcement agencies, and we are involved in the analysis of technical data, analysis of those techniques and tactics that were applied, and those technical traces which are present in the infrastructure, which should help us to build the chain of events chronologically and show us where the criminal was, what was he doing, how was he doing that, where did he enter the system. So at the given moment of time, the most important thing is data collection. We collect analysis, verification of this data, and the answer to the question how it was done. Because from the point of view of even operability of this service in the future, the answer to the question how is the most important question, because we should do it in such a way so that these attacks would never happen again. What do you think? What do you get from your data? How long was this attack prepared? Well, there's a lot of traces dated by April, working in April of this year. Yes, April of this year. The work in infrastructure, definitely, it cannot be done in one day from point of penetration to those destructive actions that were executed. It's impossible to do such a thing within one day in such a scale.
Примечательно, что
What is interesting
на самом деле
is that there's a lot of data because it's a distributed structure and a lot of things have to be analyzed.
об инструментарии,
But we can speak about tools.
в принципе,
And basically,
гипотеза,
the hypothesis is being confirmed, which we've been speaking about other cases as well, that criminals are using publicly accessible tools which are present with special frameworks and in some nodes. They had Cobalt Strike present. It's a well-known tool which commercially is being positioned as a tool for pen testers.
злоумышленники использовали, они
Then criminals have used and they understand which tool can be used inside of an infrastructure and being legitimate. They've used the same tools which are used in daily life for IT admins in order to move inside of the infrastructure, research it, etc. Different scanners. We can see that in the infrastructure, they've been learning about the infrastructure, they've been scanning it, they've been looking at open places, network access possibilities, and we can see that it was done
часов.
not within few hours. Sasha, how Gazprom media have learned about the attack and what was the first reaction?
Первая реакция
The first reaction to attract specialists, it was questionless, without any questions. And we have spent a lot of time to security. And first of all, we're speaking about users. We should provide good quality content to end users. As for the informational security, especially of such incidents investigation, the most important thing is to attract specialists. Because let's look, well, this is a criminal offense which requires certain understanding. And non-specialist, if he's attracted, he should understand how to work with these materials. So first of all, we have invited partners. Not us. And separately, I would like to say that, guys, thank you very much. First of all, thanks for the fact at the moment when there is a lot of advisors and haters and big, couch fighters who knows how to do it properly. You guys from Positive and some other partners, you just came to our Bunny Street, and since the morning we all were in the office and we all were investigating. We just started doing it. We've learned about it at 5 a.m. On monitors, we could see it a little bit earlier, but when we started studying it in depth, we have understood how important was it, and the target attack was at 4 a.m. I don't know why. So our monitoring started working, accessibility of the services started, and then we started deploying the reaction. We have reacted very fast, and in my understanding, the speed of reaction has allowed us to minimize the damage, and the proper work and proper hands, they helped us to find the ways to mitigate this problem. How fast have you restored the main services, and how much time did it take for the full restoration? Well, it took us 50 hours, more than 2 days. Yeah, more than 2 days. This is exactly how much people didn't sleep and they were doing it. But this is usability, bringing up main services and main components about video delivery. We're speaking about things like access to data storage, indexation, carousel, and other main services. Another example, like streaming, they came back later. Things like loading video later. Personal cabinet started working just recently. Search started almost immediately, but the problem is due to the fact that due to certain tags, we had to re-index the whole database.
Мы не на 100% мощности.
But right now we are not working 100% of capacity. We are lifting our services on step-by-step basis, and problem is related with the fact that these guys, they know that we are very carefully looking for all the data, where can we find any artifacts or injections. And they have left a lot of injections which have to be removed. Injections in the source code, in scripts, everything that can be relaunched again and somehow bring some additional damage. So we are cleaning these alongside the services are being uploaded. So we do this work on step-by-step basis. It will take a while, but from the the good side of it. Using this situation, we have updated some of our mobile application, their interface, and we had some updates planned for the future. We started updating them now. Alexei, will you publish the results of this investigation, and if yes, when?
Это очень сложный вопрос.
Well, it's a very complicated question. It's not in our practice or experience to solve will there be published or not. But who decides that? First of all, owners of the infrastructure make this decision. So I will readdress this question to them.
Единственная сторона, да.
Да,
то
да,
есть
здесь
And this is not the only party. There are no participants of the dialogue who are addressing this question. It depends on
статья, по которой коллективный
how heavy is the article to which these, because it's a criminal act.
процесс, если
And criminal prosecution, and there are certain investigation which is being conducted, and upon the results of it, decision will be made what can become public and what will stay not public. But what are the forecasts? Will you find the
воинственные
criminals?
наши прогнозы.
We want to find the criminals, definitely. We want to find them.
Хотя, смотри, в первую очередь,
Even though, first of all,
воинственности, в первую
with all our activities, it's very important that Rutube right now is not sick, it's healthy, it's working on a full scale, and it will follow our roadmap. User is the most important for us, and let's speak about that. Let's say something that you call Rutubechik. Well, there were different perceptions to Rutube even before these events which have happened.
Скажу, большинство
I will tell you even more. Most of the people didn't like it because of the inconvenience of the services, but will this incident lead to some significant review of your
история
opinions about the Rutube? Well, the story is much more complicated. Well, last year we have decided
выйти на цикл
that it wouldn't be bad to go to
года. Для этого план
21 million users, so we accumulate a certain volume of functionality, we roll out some features, audience come for the features, it grows, so we calculate the user base and it lives like that. However, the life brings its own corrections, and we have executed the plan of the end of the year, and somewhere in April we have failed the plan of the last of next year. Infrastructure was launched very fast. We had problems with moderation. It's a complicated problem, not our problem. We were not ready for such volume of traffic, and most likely our desire
выполнять требования
and requirement of the legislation, and we have to follow the legislation about fakes and control everything that comes to the platform. We have so much content for moderation, it takes a lot of time, and this is something that was fixed. Point number two is that many users, when they leave YouTube, they required that this platform would look like YouTube. So some new functionality was coming, and it's connected to the fact that we wanted to give the replies and responses which would bring users closer to YouTube.
начиная с апреля плана
And starting from April, we started rolling out the roadmap of the functionality that we wanted to have in the beginning. We don't have an objective of making clone of YouTube. No way. And this is wonderful, because the next question I had to you is what is YouTube is an ideal in the direction you're striving for. What is the beauty of Rutube today? Rutube today is a platform. Surprise me.
Rutube сегодня.
Yeah. Rutube today, if you will look changes of this platform, it has not been changing. It was changing, listening to the users. Yes, we're changing everything that people want to change. Yeah, there were difficulties with moderation. They've corrected it. There were certain desires, top button, because users wanted to have it, and they wanted to black topic. And you know, there are simple things externally, but it requires a lot of changes in the source code. And we try to fulfill all the desires of the end users. You know, prioritization, the roadmap, etc., etc., etc. So today, the uniqueness of the situation is that we are together and we can do national video hosting. People want it, and everything that people want, we can hear it. We can collect all this information. We have a big audience today, and user desire give us a possibility to make the platform which is going to be convenient for us, like the one that it's supposed to be. And should we be a clone of some foreign platform? I will tell you why not. No foreign platform in the future in multinational holding will not be able to execute local needs, satisfy local needs. But today, Russian users somehow have to adopt for the YouTube. Many habits are because YouTube is like that. Not because it's convenient for me, but because they define the fashion. It's a consequence. And we would like to change this, and would like to give people something they want and something that is interesting to them. And first of all, we have an objective objective of this platform is to make some social lift. So you can create some creative things, you can post videos. This is standard video hosting from the point of view of doing something, posting something, promoting it, voting for this. But honestly speaking, Rutube is a part of big media holding, biggest media holding, where you have a lot of opportunities and possibilities from the point of view of monetization. Okay, YouTube have switched on monetization. In YouTube, we have Rutube, we have it, and in-house monetization, it brings to sponsorship. Sponsor comes through the single window, and you shouldn't think about it. You should think about your creativeness. You create those videos, you post them. Then, if you will be seen, you will be enrolled into another platform where you can make videos, cinema, and you have a big horizon where you can develop yourself. And this is a wonderful, beautiful story with a staircase by which creative people can grow. And Rutube today, this is about that. And this is something that we would like to become. And, listening desires of our users. But will it be possible to see some public plans for the development of the Rutube? Because this is a big attention. And those ideas which you've been speaking about right now, about public video hosting, that everybody would participate in its development, and people right now can bring all their ideas, and you will be able to do something explosive. But will it be seen? What would you like to do? Or should we wait about X years and then we will get whatever? I'll surprise you. You will be able to see it where?
На
на
Рутюбе. Да, то есть
On Rutube. Go to Rutube and you will see it there. Step-by-step basis, we will publish all the videos with our roadmaps, with our plans, and everything that will come to the platform. On a step-by-step basis, we'll teach people how to use it, and we'll speak about the functionality that will be implemented. Everything will be there. And right now, there's a high demand for different entertainment show, blog show, and we will reinforce our platform online in Rutube. Well, Gazprom Media Holding is a big resource which owns a lot of informational sources for the wide audience of our country. Have you ever seen attacks against other media resources or media holdings? Well, I would like to add to your question. I will make it more acute. Recently,
народ вдруг резко
people suddenly started getting more educated, and everybody know a lot of terms about PT attacks, DDoS attacks. But you have made big input into the education and evangelization of the info security and info hygiene. And the first thing they've asked us, tell us please, they've said, can you give us details of DDoS attack against Rutube? Well, what attack did you have? 4 users entered and now 6 users. Speaking about DDoS attacks, in current realities, well,
какая-то бытность уже, то есть, смотрите.
it's something basic. I'm not asking about DDoS, I'm asking in principle. Well, if you divide into different categories, well, DDoS became something daily, and services are constantly, somebody tries to put them down. Some other attacks are happening permanently, but are they planned as well? Are they technically studied and well prepared? Well, it's different, but generally speaking, I think that all the details, well, I'm not going to tell you all these details, but we are working in this direction, and generally speaking, we try to stop it in maximum. But answering your question, yes and a lot. Yes and a lot.
Да мы в новом мире живем, где, слушай,
We live in a new world. Listen to me.
Вы владеете огромным медийным ресурсом.
You own a big media resource which is going to provide the information for, and there's a lot of criminals which have cyber guns, and we have to protect ourselves. And from the point of view of cyber security, from the point of view of defense, which conclusions did you come to? Will you review defense radically? Well, big changes from the point of view of cyber security we introduced in the last 6 months, and this is why we were able to stay alive. And right now we're moving in our roadmap, and we are going to just reinforce it. So the roadmap is understandable, plan is understandable, and we should move forward. We should improve and increase these security measures that we're taking. We cannot do it alone. And the situation is following. We live in a world where we have to unite together in the information security. There is no other ways. What do you mean by uniting in the information security world? Well, there are not many players in information security in Russia, too.
Даже,
Well,
здесь один сидит
one is sitting here
с крутыми компетенциями.
with very cool competencies. Some competencies can be provided by other players, some can grow up, but it's important right now so that people who are strong and competent, there are few of them in the market.
Возможности.
And we have wonderful opportunity right now
девизами звучит, да, и тостами.
It sounds like statements. We should hold hands, and we do have such an opportunity. Yes, we should withstand all these dirty things which are happening in the market. And then, something that doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And it's a beautiful opportunity to become even stronger. Can we,
Забегая сильно вперед,
looking forward, at least in the media segment, can we become cyber defended from the point of view of media on the national level? Can we, and do we have such an opportunity? Yes, we do. And which role can be played by positive in this story?
очень важную.
Well, it is very important. I think that we already have learned about a lot of details, and we have a lot of good beginnings, good starts.
Не тот момент еще, когда мы
Perhaps it's not that moment when we are going to tell you in details, and we plan a certain session on St. Petersburg's International Forum, and we are going to tell you about all of this. Can you tell me, please, what's going to happen there? There's going to be a session that will be
медиа мы хотим
organized by Gazprom Media. We're going to tell in more detail about incidents, but from the point of view of non-technical part, but more about end users, about which effect they get, and honestly speaking,
смотреть иначе, то есть
we would like to look at the situation differently, not like today Rutube was attacked, and today all the users have been attacked who came to Rutube, and all viewers who've been watching it. In addition to that, we would like to speak which steps and actions we will do together from the information security point of view. Thank you very much. Rutube, something that doesn't kill us makes us stronger. That's why I do hope that these lessons that we have learned will allow us not only to increase the level of cybersecurity, but also be able to review our services and make them much better than those Western analogies that we've had by now and which obviously we will have to replace. Alexander Moiseev, Alexei Novikov, about Rutube.